Hi, I'm Wendy Haight Scribner, and this is Wendy Haight Create. As I was going through this project, I realized that this is going to be a really long video. Even if I fast forward through a lot of things, it might be an hour, hour and a half long, and that's pretty overwhelming. So what I'm going to do is break these into sections. So this will be called the hand-painted quilted laptop tote. You can watch it 2 or 3 minutes at a time, and hopefully when we're done, we'll have this beautiful tote. But I'll take you through my entire process. One of the problems I have is I never really have a clear definition of how I'm going to do something. I kind of design as I go along. So you're going to go through that journey with me. That's why it's going to take a little longer, because I may change my mind in the middle of it. So I hope you go along with me on this journey, and let's get this tote done. Scribner, and this is Wendy Haight Create. Today I'm trying a new project, and I thought I'd share it with you. I made this laptop case about 10 years ago, and this is made out of ultra suede. It's a really cool fabric. It's a man-made fabric that feels like suede, and I sew so many things out of this, jackets and purses, and I've even made slacks out of this fabric. But after 10 years, it's gotten pretty beat up. So I thought I'd make a new laptop case out of this fabric. This is a linen and cotton blend, so it will take fabric paint beautifully because it's a natural fiber. It also is pretty stiff, so when I back it with this special backing that comes from the quilt store, and it's designed just for tote bags and some other things. I'm not sure what else they use it for, but I use it primarily for tote bags. So I'm going to hand paint this, then quilt it, and then we'll see how it turns out. And if it turns out really well, maybe I'll start selling these. I'm not sure. Hang in there. I'll go through this process with you. The first thing I'm going to do is measure this, and I want it to be a little bit bigger this time, a little wider and a little deeper. So we'll measure this, and we'll start with that. I'm going to cut my fabric maybe an inch bigger all the way around because it's all natural and I haven't pre-washed it. When I put a lot of fabric paint on it, it might make the fabric shrink. So I'm going to give myself some pretty ample margins all the way around what I cut out. Okay, I almost have this cut out, and I've measured it twice and cut once, and let's see if I got it right. But I want you to look at the fabric itself. Whenever you hand paint fabric, you have to make sure that you don't have any folds or any indentations in the fabric, because if you do, that fabric paint will pick up on that fold and it'll make a funny looking crease or a line. And you can see right here, there is some indentation. See those? Before I start painting, I'm going to go to the ironing board and really get this all pressed and steamed so it's completely flat. Now, there's some people that crumple up their fabric and paint it, and that's the effect you want, but I don't. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, so I want to make sure I have a nice flat surface to work on before I start. Okay, so here is the cutout fabric, and it's going to fold in half like this, and then it will have a zipper at the top. Now, what I think I might want to kind of do is use my ultra suede and maybe put a band across the bottom, so when it's sitting on the ground, this fabric isn't on the ground. I'll have ultra suede to protect it, and then maybe do the handles out of ultra suede. But I have so much of this, it's crazy. That was a color that was supposed to go on a jacket, and you can see how vibrant these colors are. I could actually applique this on if I wanted to rather than hand paint it, but I want to give the hand painting a try and see how that will work. I'm going to adjust this a little bit for you. I have so many different colors, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use on this fabric. But this teal is beautiful. I have a whole bolt of teal. So I'm going to kind of play with this and see what I come up with and go from there. Now I cut this, as I said earlier, I cut this quite a bit bigger so that if I put a lot of water on this and it shrinks, I still have enough to make it the right size tote bag. So that's where we are right now. That's the plan. I'm going to go iron out all these wrinkles, and then we'll come back and see what ends up happening. I think I'm going to test some of the fabric paint first to see, because this isn't very white, it's beige. So I'm going to test this first. Okay, this is the fun part. I'm testing out the paint to see how it's going to look on this fabric. There's a lot of beige in this fabric, so it's not going to be intense as if I was using white fabric. So this jacquard paint is really cool, and if you look at it, it looks like sweetened condensed milk. It's about that thickness. And I really like it because I can put it on something and leave it thick, or I can water it down and just get a wash, a watercolor wash. But you could see on here, there's a little bit of color from the fabric bleeding through. So it's got kind of a little beige undertone, and that's okay. Now, I mixed this up, and this is just like water. And I mixed it up for another project I was using, and it's pretty blue. But when I put it on there, you can see it's blue, but then when it dries, it turns grayer. And the fun thing with fabric paints is when you layer the color, you get a whole different look. But having the kind of, I guess you could say, the guts to mess with it and kind of keep messing with it is part of the fun. So I'm going to work on this a little bit and try and figure out what I want to do, where I want to go with this, what kind of design I want to put on this new tote bag, and we'll see where that goes.